Hi guys, today I want to talk about all of the books I want to reread in 2016. I talked a bit about what I want to reread in my plans in 2016 video, but over the past few weeks I've realized there's actually quite a lot of books I want to reread, and they are kind of just like accumulating. I keep thinking like, oh, this is also something that I want to reread, and then someone brings something up in one of the videos and then I add another, so I have quite the list now, and I thought I just want to talk about it, and yeah, let's get into the list. So first I want to reread Mockingjay by Susan Collins this year. I reread The Hunger Games and Catching Fire earlier this year in the book club from Maddie and B and Sarah, and I couldn't reread Mockingjay with them because I was busy with Victoria Schwab books, and so I, still want to reread this year to kind of reread the whole trilogy in one year, because normally I've been like rereading one of the books, like I've read Catching Fire once, and then before the first movie came out I reread this once, but I've never read them in order and like close to each other, so I definitely want to get to Mockingjay as well. Then we have two books that I did talk about in my plans in 2016 video, but I just want to mention them again, and that is Graceling and Bitterblue by Christine Cashore, the first and third book in the Graceling Realm trilogy. And since this is a companion trilogy, there are different orders in which you could read them, and since I've already read them once in like publishing order, I wanted to read them in kind of different order. So I reread Fire in December last year, and yeah, now I want to go on to Graceling and then Bitterblue, and this is something that I will read probably sooner than later. I think definitely in the first half of this year, just because I don't want to have too much time between Fire and the rest. And if you watch my videos, you know this is one of my favorite trilogies, so I can't wait to dive back into it, especially Graceling, since when I read it first it was a German audiobook, so this is going to be a completely new experience, and I think I will like this a lot more than I did the first time. I mean, I still loved it the first time, but I think it's going to be another experience this time around, and I'm pumped. Next we have Harry Potter, in which I definitely want to reread the third and fourth book this year. The third book is currently my tripod, so sorry. I've read the first and second one last year for the very first time. Really want to continue rereading these books, but so far this year I just haven't really felt in the mood for it. I think I might wait again until summer, because this is when I read the first and second book. I don't know, apparently that works for me. I mean, Christmas always works well as well. Definitely want to reread the third and fourth. If I'm really in the mood, if I have a lot of time, I will definitely continue, but the plan is kind of third and fourth. And the third one is my favorite from my kind of memory, but I have never reread these, so I don't really know, and it's hard for me to really say. So this is one of the reasons as to why I want to do a reread. I just really want to know what I really feel about each and every book. There's so much nostalgia in this that this is not something that makes me scared that I won't enjoy them anymore. I'm just kind of interested to see how my opinions on, each book individually changes. Next we have The Witch Hunter by Virginia Baker, and I mentioned this in my March TBR. This is something that I definitely want to reread this month, because I am kind of wanting to prepare for the Kingslayer, the second and final book coming out in the series, and I'm pre-filming, so at the point when this comes out I might have already read The Witch Hunter, but I'm so much looking forward to it. And I remember that I got through this book really quickly, and I fell in love with the world and the characters quite fast, and I remember that even though I found the world to be super interesting, I still understood everything so very well, so I think it's gonna be really interesting to see more details this time around. And yeah, I just really want to be clear again what happened in the first book to be all prepared for the sequel. And as you might know, I already reread A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab shortly before the second book in this trilogy came out. That said, I do want to reread other books by Victoria Schwab as well, and that is definitely The Archived and The Unbound, which is her YA series. And yeah, these are one of my favorite books of all time and were my favorite books of 2014. So it's been 2 years since I've read these, and they are really short, easy to get through. I love the world and the characters, and I really want to pick up on more things. I want to understand the world better. I want to fall more in love with Victoria Schwab's writing and the characters in the world. So this is definitely something that I will get to this year. And then there's obviously also Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which is one of her adult books, and this is another one of my favorite books of all time. I just really want to reread this. It's so amazing. It's so interesting. Another one where I love the world, but it's also quite complex, so it's definitely, you know, good for me to reread it to get more details. So these were all of the books that I'm planning to reread in 2016. Of course, there could always be more, and you know, sometimes you just feel in the mood for something and then you just pick it up. I would definitely love to know what you want to reread this year, and just in general your opinion on rereading. Do you like rereading or you don't like rereading? As I said, I am not that big of a rereader, and I never really considered rereading before I joined BookTube, but now I have fallen in love with it, have reread Catching Fire several times, and I think rereading A Darker Shade of Magic was really a point for me where I realized how amazing rereading is and how much joy it brings me. And yeah, now I am too into rereading almost, like it's not funny anymore. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon.